As you're starting out in any industry, there's bound to be mistakes that you make along the way. Well, it's the same for ESL teaching. As a new ESL teacher, there's going to be mistakes that you make, and you're going to learn from those mistakes. This session, I'm going to highlight 5 common mistakes that many beginner ESL teachers make and how you can avoid them. My name is Catherine and I'm from the OET. I help support people, especially mums, start and succeed with an online ESL teaching career they can do from home around their families. Today's session, we are highlighting 5 mistakes that beginners tend to make entering the online ESL industry. And the point of highlighting these mistakes is not to call people out, it's to highlight them so that you can avoid making them as well and have a smoother beginner experience as an online ESL teacher. Mistake number 1 is expecting instant bookings. Now, companies will take time to fill out your schedule, and that could be for a number of different reasons. But the biggest reason is, as a brand new teacher working with that company, they want to get to know your teaching style and experience and to see how you build a rapport with their students. If you're a teacher who students are asking for by name, they want to book personally with you, then they're going to offer you more classes quite quickly on. But if it's taking a little bit of time to find that correct match with a student, then it will take a bit longer for companies to fill out your schedule. But also, certain companies are promising that they have X amount of students, but actually on the inside, when you open out your schedule, those bookings are not coming in. So a big top tip is not to believe everything that you read on social media or what the company is advertising. Speak to other teachers to find out how their bookings are going with the company. Are their schedules full? Are they getting the work that they've been promised? And that will help you to assess how quickly or not your schedule will get filled out. But remember, it does take time for companies to fill out your schedule. They are building trust with you as a new teacher to them, and that takes time. So you need to be realistic that the first week that you work with a company, you're not going to have a full schedule. Sometimes it takes a couple of weeks, sometimes it can take a couple of months. So it's important to work with a couple of different companies to help you achieve the income that you're hoping for going into this industry. Mistake number 2, applying to too many companies at the same time. We did touch base on this in our session of how to choose the right company for you. But the premise of this is making sure that you're not feeling super overwhelmed going into this as a brand new industry to you. If you're applying to too many companies, you're going to have a huge amount of pressure when you're getting responses inviting you to interviews and demos. You're going to be overwhelmed, you're going to turn up to these demos poorly prepared, and that's going to lead to either rejection or a lower rate per hour offer from that company. We don't want that for you. So what's important is to apply to companies at a rate that suits your current availability. If you're working full-time, it's probably not a smart move to apply to 10, 20 companies in a week. What are you going to do when they start responding to you and inviting you to interviews? That's a lot of time that you need to then map out in your schedule to attend and prepare for all of those interviews. So start off slow and steady. Apply to maybe 5 companies in 1 week. See how that goes. Wait for those responses. Apply to another 5 the following week, and so on and so forth. So you've got a steady stream of applications that are going out so that you're balancing out the no's, the not hearing, and the invitations. And that will increase your chances of gaining the yes at the end of the day. But it also means that because you're not applying to too many in one go, you have time to dedicate to each company's demo material to show your best side of teaching within that demo lesson so that you can negotiate the highest rate possible moving forward with that company. Mistake number 3, overspending on courses and equipment. Now, I have mentioned this previously in another session, But it's really important to not get sucked into hype on social media. Oh, you really must buy this, or you need the next top-notch laptop, or to be the best teacher, you need XYZ course. No, absolutely not. Going into the ESL industry, you are starting at base level, so your pay is not going to be great. So the last thing I want you to do is already be out of pocket by hundreds of dollars because you spent out on all these things that people are hyping up that you need. You don't need them. What you need is the bare minimum to get you through, and as your income grows, you can then upgrade later on. Now, currently, as an example of my setup, I have a laptop. My laptop's like 4 or 5 years old now, which is getting on. I could do with a new one. But my laptop, just to give you an idea, is 4 or 5 years old. It still suits me now. It's still functional. It does everything that it needs. I'm recording this session with you right now on my laptop. It's fine for teaching online. I don't need to go out and buy a brand new $400 laptop, right? I also have an external webcam. I did not start teaching with an external webcam. This is an upgrade that I decided I wanted to invest in after I found out, yes, I really love teaching and I had a stable income, so I could invest in my equipment. Similarly, I started out with a gaming headset. It was a cheaper headset at the beginning because, I didn't know if I wanted to teach online. It was just an opportunity that came in front of me. So $20 headset. It had like a microphone and just plugged into my laptop. It was okay, but it wasn't comfortable. If I was teaching 6 classes back to back, that was 6 hours pushing my glasses onto my head with this headset. It wasn't comfortable and I'd end up with a headache. So what did I do? I was earning money and I decided, I really love teaching. I'm now going to upgrade. And I got a really good, decent gamer's headset it was massive to wear. And it was huge, but it was so comfortable. It had a thick padding, it had a really big microphone, and it had soundproofing as well. So it would minimize any background noise. And I'm a mom of 2 kids. And when I was teaching live classes, my kids were little when I first got started, like babies, 2 under 2s, when I first got started. So it was loud and I had a dog. So the background minimization feature was fantastic to have with this headset. But I didn't start with the fancy headset. I didn't start with the fancy webcam. I also now, because I do a lot of YouTube recording, I have an external microphone. I didn't start with that. I had this tiny microphone that was part of my headset. That's okay. Start with what you need as a minimum viable. You need a functional device, such as a laptop or desktop computer. It needs to be fast enough in terms of its processor so that the video is not going to lag when you're in class. But you don't have to upgrade unless obviously you have a really, really, really old device and it's not going to function properly for your lessons. Most devices come with an inbuilt webcam, so you don't need to buy an external one until later down the line if you want a better quality video. You need a headset. Most companies expect you to wear a headset, but you don't have to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on a fancy techie, I don't even know, I'm not like a headset pro, but something really expensive. Just buy something cheap that will get you through the demo in your first few classes. If then you get to a point where you think, actually, I really love doing this, teaching ESL online is something I can see me growing as a career, and you're earning money, you can then save a bit by and upgrade your equipment later on. You don't need fancy things to begin and enter the industry with. Second, we talked about courses as well. So you do need certain qualifications to work with certain companies. Most ESL companies will ask for a degree. It doesn't have to be in teaching or education, it could be in anything, but they require a degree and a 120-hour TEFL or TESOL certificate minimum. That's the majority of companies. Some companies don't require a degree, but they do need some form of teaching certificate, such as the TEFL. And so it's a good idea to, at least as a base minimum, have a 120-hour TEFL certification. And it's a really simple course that you can do online. and you go through the course materials. It helps build a kind of a foundational knowledge of English language learners, their needs. Some of them go through certain things that you might be teaching them, like grammar, reading, writing, vocabulary, that sort of thing. And then you complete, depends on the course, but you complete some assessments, and then you have your certificate, your digital certificate, and often you can pay extra to have a physical certificate sent to you. And that is proof for the companies. You just have to scan that in, send that to the companies, and that's proof of your certification. Now, this is where the tricky, foggy bit gets. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of TEFL qualifications that you can choose from online today, and more are being added all the time. So as a beginner, it's really difficult choosing a course. Now, what I will say is I'm not going to go through different TEFL courses in this session because I've only taken one myself. So until I've done a couple of different TEFL courses myself, I don't feel qualified yet to be able to go through, oh, this is a great course, this one you should avoid, X and Y, Z. So I want to do a bit more research myself before I recommend those TEFL courses to you. But what you do need to do is your research, just like I would do. So spend some time online, go into forums on Reddit or Facebook groups, and ask other teachers, hey, what course did you do for your TEFL qualification? Did that lead to a job? So was the certificate valid to go and get a job? Because some of them are not. So it's really important to ask these questions. Warning, however, some people will only recommend a really expensive course because they are an affiliate. What that means is that they share a unique link to that course, and that's a trackable link back to them with the company. So the TEFL company tracks that link. If you pay through that link, the person who has referred you will gain a commission from that. Affiliate marketing is a genuine, legitimate way of earning income, but what I'm warning you about is that some people won't have actually completed this course themselves, or they're just recommending this super, super high priced course with talking, some of them can be several hundred or thousands of dollars for this course that you don't need to spend, but because it gives them a bigger commission. So it's something to think about. Make sure you do your research and you're cross-researching. So you're not just asking in Reddit, but you're asking in different places, as well as looking at reviews online too, using a web search. So there are a few courses out there that are under $100 for the 120-hour TEFL certificate. So I recommend starting there and comparing a few of the courses that are affordable and seeing what they offer. And do they have any certification on their website? Is their course accredited by any professional bodies? That's a really good key as to how professional the course is. At the end of the day with these TEFL courses, it is just a certificate, an entry to get you through the door with these companies. I haven't really used or found my previous, I did a TESOL certificate. I didn't really use that or found it valuable at all. It was a really cheap, basically piece of paper that I paid for so that it got me through the doors with with my first company. So I think I paid like $20 for this course, and it was just more like I did it in an hour. It was just multiple choice questions. I didn't learn anything from it. I don't recommend that absolutely at all. Now that kind of qualification would not be a legitimate qualification, and the companies would probably reject your certificate because it's not valid. You've not learned anything from it. And as somebody going into a whole new teaching industry, if you've not come from a teaching background, I do recommend investing in a better course than what I took, because it's going to help you understand how learners think, what they need, and how to teach them. So it gives you a little bit of a foundational knowledge to help you get started, which will support you with your demo prep. I don't recommend spending over $100 on a certificate. There's just no need. It's a piece of paper to help you get through the door so you can start earning money as a teacher. You're not earning money yet, so you're going to be the first few hours, you're going to be paying for that course that you took. in order to prepare you to get your first job. So please don't listen to all the hype online. If people are trying to suck you into spending thousands of dollars on a course or hundreds of dollars on this, that, and the other equipment, it's not essential to get you started and your foot in the door with your first ESL company. But of course, as your career grows and your income increases, you can choose to upgrade your equipment or your training and certificate later down the line. That's always an option for you. Let's move on to mistake number 4, comparing yourself to other teachers. It's really easy, especially with how volatile social media is. It's really easy to feel quite low about yourself because you're seeing only the positive snapshot highlights of people's life online. So what people share online is not all the ups and downs and the roadblocks that they go through. It's all the happy-go-lucky, wow me kind of hype online. So I don't want you to get caught up in seeing other teachers and being like, God, I wish I could teach like that. Oh, they're amazing. Oh, look at the response that their students getting. Yeah, there probably are brilliant teachers. They're fantastic. There's so many awesome teachers out there online, but they're in a different journey to you. From where they first started to where they're at now, they've gone through so much and they've done the work, they've put in the hours. So of course, they're going to be fantastic at this point in their career, 2, 5, 10 years down the line. You're at point 1. So you're at the very beginning, you haven't taught your first class yet, you haven't got experience yet, you're just applying for jobs. So of course, what your classes appear like will be completely different to those teachers who are further along in their career. So please don't damage your own self-confidence. Use their videos as inspiration. Oh, I'd love to be a teacher like that. Oh, look how they're teaching that student. Oh, okay, they're using this resource. That's amazing. I'm going to put a pin in that, save that video for later down the line when I'm at that point in my career as well. In the beginning, everybody gets nervous. Everybody's worried about their performance on the class. It takes time to gain trust of a student, so they're not going to gel with you right away. That's okay. This is all normal. Do not put that external pressure on yourself because certain things are shown on social media. It is not a real or true reflection of somebody's career journey that they have been on. Mistake number 5, quitting too early. Now, I know it can be really frustrating if you're getting rejection after rejection from companies. If you've just been hired by a company, you're thinking, yes, finally I can start earning some money as a teacher, and it takes time. You've only got 1 or 2 classes booked in a week. Don't quit, because if you quit, that's it. All that progress that you have made to be hired by that company has gone, and you're starting from the beginning again, either with teaching ESL online or a different industry. It's important to keep going. And what I mean by that is, if you're, 6 months in with this company and you're still only getting a couple of classes a week, I don't mean stick with that company. That is not sustainable at all to be able to pay your bills. It's important to be flexible, try and progress to different companies, increase your hourly rate, and so on and so forth with your career. But what I mean by not quitting is not giving up if things are taking a bit of time to get going. In the beginning, you will have lower bookings, as we talked about on point number 1. In the beginning, your confidence will be low. You are learning a new skill. If somebody started to try and teach me, plumbing. Plumbing, for example, I would be like, what the? I wouldn't have a clue. I would not have a clue. I wouldn't be able to name it, like pipe, toilet. That's about all I know with plumbing. My confidence would be shot. I wouldn't have an absolute clue because I've never done it before. It's brand new to me, a different industry to where my experience and expertise is. So of course, I'm going to be quite nervous and not sure if I'm doing it right, questioning myself. That's normal. That happens with anybody who's a beginner in any industry. So that's where you're at now as a beginner. Of course, that's going to take time for your confidence to build up. So that first month of teaching is generally often the hardest because it's such a sudden change from everything that you've been doing before. You've got to learn the tech side of teaching online, you've got the curriculums, you're meeting students, maybe you've never taught a child before, so you've got all of that engagement to learn, how to interact and gain their attention in class, building a professional rapport with that student. There's a lot to learn, so you are diving in the deep end with teaching ESL online. But that's why it's quite good that the company doesn't fill your schedule out from day one. So it gives you time to build up your skills, get comfortable with the platform, confident with the students, and go from there. So it's realistic to have what we call an adjustment period when you're adapting to this whole new career, a whole new system working with a company, and a different industry with teaching online. So focus on those positive moments. Yes, I got a booking. Yes, I was hired and gained an offer with a company. Oh, I got my first student and they decided to stick with me. So I get to see them now every single week. Brilliant. Oh, this student loved that reward that I made. Oh, amazing. Focus on those small wins, and that will help change and adapt your mindset into a bit more positive, especially at the beginning, which is going to help you stick it out so that you can grow into the amazing ESL teacher that I know you can be. If you do want a little bit more support, a bit of hand-holding to get you started with teaching ESL online, then do check out the mini ESL teacher toolkit. There's some resources in there. Particularly a popular one is the job board spreadsheet, so you can see what opportunities there are right now for new online ESL teachers. I'll see you soon, friends. Bye!